Late at night, when the world was asleep, something unusual stirred in the old house on Elm Street. It was a place shrouded in mystery, where the shadows seemed to breathe and the wind whispered secrets. Sarah, a young woman in her late 20s, moved in to escape the chaos of the city. She wanted peace and quiet, a place to call her own. The house was old but charming, with creaky floors and a grand staircase. Despite its eerie reputation, Sarah felt at ease. Sarah to herself, unpacking. This will be my sanctuary. The first night was peaceful. The crickets sang outside, and the moonlight painted patterns on her bedroom walls. But as the clock struck midnight, Sarah woke up to a faint whisper. She sat up, her heart beating fast. Sarah whispering to herself, "It's just the wind." She listened intently, but the house was silent. She lay back down, convinced it was her imagination. The following night, as Sarah was reading in bed, she heard a soft thud. It sounded like footsteps. She froze, her eyes darting to the door. The footsteps grew louder, approaching her room. Sarah muttering, "It must be the old pipes." She tried to ignore it, but the sounds persisted, ending just outside her bedroom door. She mustered the courage to check, but when she opened the door, the hallway was empty. On the third night, the noises were unmistakable. Footsteps, a knock on her door, and a faint voice calling her name. Sarah's blood ran cold. She clutched the blankets, eyes wide with fear. Sarah trembling. "Who's there?" No answer. The doorknob slowly turned. The door creaked open, but the hallway remained dark and empty. Determined to find the source of the disturbances, Sarah set up a camera in the hallway. That night, she sat in her room, watching the live feed on her phone. Just past midnight, the footsteps returned, captured by the camera. A shadowy figure emerged, indistinct and eerie. Sarah whispering, "What is that?" Gathering her courage, Sarah stepped into the hallway. The figure stood at the end, and as she approached, it turned to face her. She gasped it was her own face, distorted and ghostly. Shadow Sarah with an eerie smile. "I'm the one who never left." Sarah stumbled back, her mind racing. The apparition advanced, its voice echoing through the hall. "Shadow Sarah, this house remembers. It knows you, Sarah." Panic surged through her. She bolted to her room, locking the door behind her. Her phone buzzed. It was a video message from the camera. She played it back, her hands shaking. The video showed the shadowy figure walking up and down the hallway, whispering Sarah's name. It paused outside her door, its face close to the camera. "Shadow Sarah on video. You can't escape what's inside." Sarah packed her bags in a frenzy. She couldn't stay another minute in the house. As she reached the front door, she felt a cold hand on her shoulder. Shadow Sarah, leaving so soon? She turned, but the hallway was empty. She dashed out of the house, never looking back. From that night on, Sarah was never seen again in that town. The old house on Elm Street remained, silent and brooding, waiting for its next visitor. The townsfolk say the house is still haunted, a place where one's own fears come to life.